Hi everybody, welcome to another YDF live show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you grow your audience, share your message and transform your business. So welcome to the show everybody. I want to talk about last night's webinar results. As you know, or you may not know, but I did a webinar last night and really myself and Maria were kind of testing it again because we've never done one for 6 months, since March or April. And when I first done the webinars back in March and April, I thought, okay, I'm only getting about a 2.5%, 3% conversion rate, and it was making about $1,800, and it's a lot of work involved in doing a webinar. So I want to share last night's results with you. Now, I kind of debated whether or not to do this, whether to share it with you, and a lot of people have kind of told me in the past, never share your results, but I'm kind of a wee bit different. I'm very open and I want to share them with you. So if you're ever thinking about doing a webinar or you're thinking about it in the future for your business, and I definitely think everybody should do it or think about a webinar. And that's why I'm gearing people up for doing the Facebook Lives as well, so you become confident on the webinars. But I want to share the numbers with you. Okay, last night's numbers, we touched 500 people who registered for the webinar. Now, we expect about 20% of those people to turn up, but we got 162, I think, was the peak of the kind of webinar registrations coming on live to the show. So we got 162 people live, and I reckon about 20 people were from the actual YDF group. So we had the likes of Darlene in there, Zane, we had Maria, obviously doing all the work in the background as well, and we had loads of other people in there as well. Lorraine Emmett was there, she's just come in the house just now. Welcome to you. Fiona Cheney, thank you for the replay. Watched and learned a great deal. Was devastated to miss it last night, but got it now. Maria and Stephen, thank you. From happy with lots to absorb and money to save to join you. Excellent, Fiona. Can't wait till you're in. And sorry you didn't actually get the link. I don't know what happened there. Lorraine Emmett saying it was amazing and the energy was incredible. It was. The energy was kind of palpable. So it was really, really good. So yeah, we got 162 people turned up. I reckon about 20 people were from the YDF group, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to say about 150 people turned up live, which is around about maybe 20, it was about 30% or something like that. Just under 30% or something like that, which is good for a webinar. So far, we've not done the replay sequence yet. So we've sent out a couple of emails with regards to the replay and stuff like that. So we've not got numbers back for the replay. This is only for the live just now. So we managed to get 8 sales last night. Now that might not sound a lot at all. So we managed to get $4,800 last night from say 150 people. Okay, so 150 people turned up live, and from that live, 8 people bought from the live. Which means to me there's 8 more people come into the YDF group, and 8 more people can share their messages with thousands of other people. Obviously the money is good as well. I need that to grow my business as well, but it's brilliant having these new people in the group, and I can't wait to see kind of what they do with their Facebook page and their business as well. So I'm truly grateful for the people who bought. As I said, we've not done the replay sequence yet, and before the 1st of November we'll probably get another, I would imagine another 8 sales or something. So, but I can't say that just now. I just want to talk about the numbers we got for you. So what does that mean? $4,800 from 150 people. Basically, it means for every person who turned up live, we made about $32 per person. So what that means in terms of kind of the business growing and scaling it up is I could afford, if I was going to advertise for this, I could afford to spend $32 to get people registered to the webinar if it was a live webinar. So I could afford, if I was doing Facebook advertising, which I probably will in the future, I could afford to spend $32 and I'll break even from that. So anything under $32, then I start to make money on the actual webinar. So that's good from that point of view. That's why you need to kind of know your numbers. That's why you need to be tracking as well. And to be honest, I'm not brilliant at tracking either. I'm not brilliant at tracking kind of where all the kind of traffic comes from. and I've not found a really reliable program yet. Honestly, not found a really reliable program. I was trying ConversionFly, and that seemed to work for a bit, and then it seemed to go down for some reason. I don't know why. So what that means for us in the future, imagine if we advertised like crazy, and we advertised to targeted specific groups on Facebook, not groups, but targeted audiences on Facebook. And if we managed to 10x that, so we got 10 times the amount of people on the webinar, so that would be what, 1,500 people. If we manage to get 1,500 people, that means we're going to be making around about $50,000 per webinar if we get that targeted group. So this was really a test to see how things were going to go, and as I said, we'd never tried it for about 6 months, and we tried a brand new webinar with hopefully great information. I hope you got some brilliant information from it, and you have to get a balance between the information you're given and not giving away too much information. So you want to give great information, but not that much that they could go and use the whole system itself. Because what you give in a webinar, you give parts of the system. You don't give the whole system, and the whole system is what's actually in the membership area. And we're changing that as well. So for everybody who's in the YDF watching just now, we're going to be moving over to Kajabi soon. I'm really excited about that because I've got modules in there already. And I want everything up and running before I transfer everybody over. So you're going to get even more content. So the price goes up on the 1st of November to $997. We're going to keep it at $997. Now we tried that before and nobody really bought $997, but we weren't doing webinars and we weren't doing the advertising for the replays of the webinars and things like that as well. So I'm very hopeful that the price is right, because we're putting more and more modules in there, and we're giving away loads of stuff in the YDF group as well. So you can get a link, by the way, to watch the webinar replay. There's a link above the comments, or you can go into your newsfeed and get the link there as well. So I wanted to share the numbers with you just to give you an idea of kind of how this all works, about how webinars work. And you'll know kind of I was really excited last night because it was my first one in a while, and I was really excited. I was must have went to the toilet about 10 times in the space of half an hour before the webinar, but it really was a good webinar, and it was kind of high energy there. And mainly, I have to say a big shout out to everybody from the YDF group, the members of the YDF team that we've got just now. A lot of them turned up, and that's what made it really good as well, because they all turned up, they contributed, they kind of commented and everything as well, and they really joined in. So thank you to all of you who turned up, and I know we've got some people in just now. We've got Darlene Dawn, we've got Jock J. Davis who turned up as well, which was fantastic. We've got Amanda Foy. I don't think you were there last night, Amanda. You're probably in bed, being in Australia. Lorraine Emmett was there as well. I think your daughter was watching as well, Lorraine. Stephen Webb was there as well. So I'm just looking at the others we've got in. I think that's it. Tracy Lawson, which is brilliant. So it was really good to have all the YDF members in, just kind of helping out in the background, and hopefully they got a wee bit more information as well for their own kind of Facebook page. So the next one we're going to be doing, I don't know when we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing the sequence for the replay and see how that goes. Hopefully, as I said, we'll probably maybe double the sales to maybe about 16, which would make it a 5-figure webinar, almost, just nearly a 5-figure webinar. But as I said, it's not about the money. Well, of course it is, it's business. Of course it's about the money, but it's more about getting new people in to the YDF group and giving that YDF group another boost of energy, because every time we get somebody new in, we always get a boost of energy in that group. So it's brilliant from that point of view. Plus, it's great to help the new people that are coming into the YDF group. It's great to see them and how they're going to flourish, and to get them excited about growing the Facebook page and growing the business online as well. That's the main part of it. That's what really gets me excited. So I can teach kind of new people. Excuse me. And my voice was hoarse last night as well. I thought I was going to lose my voice because I was speaking I think it's for about 90 minutes or something, doing a Q&A at the end as well. So today I thought, okay, what am I going to do the live on today? I thought I'll share my numbers and just let you know how it goes. I'm always going to be open and transparent with you as well. In business, I'll tell you how much I earn. I'll tell you everything as well. I don't mind doing that. A lot of people have told me not to do it. A lot of people don't like doing it, but I'm kind of different that way. If it's going to help you, if it's going to make you think about things, then I think that's the best thing to do. Just be open and transparent. So that's what I wanted to do today. So I'm just wondering if you have any questions. At the moment, I've not got Skype open yet. I'm just going to open Skype just now to see if there's any questions come up. Amanda Foy says, I see your hair. I see your hair is looking particularly smashing today, Mr. Aitchison. Thank you very much, Amanda. Yes, I got a haircut yesterday for the webinar. Dear me. Yes, I'm just going to go on to Skype just now, 1 second. No, I don't think we've got any questions about that. How about, yeah, comment, Tammy Hawkins. Hi, Stephen, your webinar was amazing. Thank you so much, Tammy. It's great to have you in the YDF kind of group as well. It was great for you being there. And I hope you got a lot out of it as well. And hopefully you're going to get even more in the group as well. So it was brilliant that you turned up. And I do genuinely like, I did genuinely like doing the webinar. Although I was really nervous beforehand. I think I was more excited than nervous. Comment from Fiona Cheney. Many aha moments. Excellent. And that is the main thing. So you brought up a good point there. I kind of mentioned it in the past, but if you can get somebody to walk away and they say, oh, I didn't realise that. I could do that for my Facebook page, or I could do that in my business. If you can get somebody to walk away and get that aha moment, then that is brilliant. Even if they don't buy, because what's going to happen is they're going to come back maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months time and say, I remember that guy, Stephen Aitchison, he gave a brilliant webinar. I'm going to buy his program. So even though they don't buy in the moment, they'll remember you for giving them that aha moment. So it's just like people remember how you make them feel. On webinars, people remember how you gave them an aha moment as well. And they'll always remember that. Hopefully, Fiona, you'll always remember that as well, about the aha moments. And we'll probably see you soon. I could imagine we'll see you soon in the YDF tribe as well. So you'll become part of the tribe because of that, a couple of aha moments you got on the webinar. And that's what creating a webinar is all about, giving people aha moments. And that's what your Facebook Live is all about as well, giving people aha moments, because they'll remember those moments and they'll come back to watch a show, the Facebook Live, or to watch the webinars as well. If you can do that, that is so, so powerful. And to be honest, when I kind of wrote the webinar, and I've got a coach for the webinar as well. I've had a coach kind of coaching me through writing a brand new webinar last night. So he kind of helped me with that. But myself and Maria kind of done most of the work. Well, I'd kind of written the webinar. Maria was doing everything else in the background with regards to Webinar Jam and getting all the webinars set up, which is a hard part. So thank you, Maria, again. I can't thank you enough. So yeah, if you can give aha moments in your lives and your webinars and stuff like that, people are going to come back. So it's all part of that pull marketing. So you're not being too salesy. You have to be salesy on a webinar, which I'm uncomfortable with, but I don't think I was too pushy. I thought it was salesy, and it's, as I said, it's not kind of my natural style, but you have to do that in a webinar. As part of your business, you're going to have to learn how to do that. And eventually, when you do it more and more, you'll learn to accept that. You'll learn to be comfortable with it without still being pushy. So you're still using the pull marketing techniques rather than the push marketing. So push marketing is always saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. That's not a good style of marketing. That kind of went out years ago, and nobody should be using that now. So it's all about pull marketing or attraction marketing, as some other people call it as well. Okay, comment from Darlene Dawn. Super awesome information. The most information of any webinar I've ever been to. Wow, that is a huge compliment, Darlene. And I got a couple of good messages this morning as well from Barbara Clark from Beyond Affirmations. From Barbara Clark and she wrote to me and said it was a brilliant webinar, and El Summer wrote me a message this morning saying it was an excellent webinar, and she actually said she'd been on another webinar yesterday as well to watch that, and she said the difference was night and day, more or less. So thank you for that, El. I really appreciate you saying that. So yeah, it was really good, I must admit. But I want to share the numbers with you and be kind of transparent. So I'm just wondering if we've got any questions. Lorraine Emmett is saying, I noticed you got properly into the webinar style of speaking quickly. Not easy to do. It was a good reminder to me to stop letting Facebook drain so much of my time. I've already put things in place today to save time. Brilliant. And that's one of the things I notice a lot of people in the YDF group doing, because they start to get obsessed with the kind of Facebook stats. And I do as well. I must admit, Lorraine, I do as well. Not obsessed, but I did when I first started. I was totally obsessed and I was on there hours per day, but that was part of my business. But if you're trying to grow your business and Facebook is just one part of the strategy, then it kind of behooves you to kind of spend less time kind of on the Facebook stuff and focus on the actual business. So if you've not got a product, start thinking about your product. If you've not got a kind of coaching service that you're offering, start thinking about that. Start thinking about the talks you might be giving. Start thinking about the book you might be writing as well. So that's kind of the main part, but you still have to build up that distribution channel, which is Facebook. Obviously there's others more than Facebook. You've got Instagram, you've got YouTube, and that was the three I would focus on. Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. That would be the three main platforms I would focus on if I was you. And then obviously another distribution channel is email, and you use all the other three platforms like YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Use that to build up to build up the email list. Your email list is going to be really, really important for your business. And I was talking about that last night as well, to a degree on the webinar as well. And that's a kind of a whole other webinar in and of itself. And we've got another module going into the group, going into the YDF kind of program about that as well. So that's going to be good. I'm really excited for that. So that's the next part of the business, is to start putting more modules into the program. And we've done a lot already, and hopefully we'll move everybody over by the end of next week to the new Kajabi platform, and that's when you'll see all the other modules as well. Okay, I'm just wondering if there's any questions. Tammy Hawkins saying, I agree, Amanda. Maria is a rock star. She definitely was last night. Well, she is all the time. So just see if there's any more comments. Darling Dawn, difference is night and day, as lately I've been on many webinars of very well-known long-time heart-centered people. These people have been doing webinars for years, and hands down I agree, like night and day. Oh, thank you very much. And that does mean a lot, because I didn't know if this webinar was going to work or not, Darlene. I didn't know if it was going to be good. And usually when you're doing a kind of first webinar or starting a new one, you use it as a base to start testing from. And then that's when you change things up. So that's not going to be in the same webinar all the time. So I'll need to look at that, see where people were dropping off, what time they were dropping off, and look at the information that gives me, and then change the webinar to make it better. So it's about tweaking. Small percentage tweaks are going to be great. Even 0.5% would be great to tweak it, and then 0.5% from there, 0.5% from there. And that's how you get the conversion rate numbers up as well for your business. And that's how you get more people into the YDF tribe. Question from Maria. If you could improve one thing on the webinar, can you think of one just now? If I could, oh, that's a good question, Maria. If I could improve one thing on the webinar, can I think of one just now? Really good question. So I think we're on the webinar for about 90 minutes, and I think that was a good length, because I thought it was going to go over 90 minutes in total. I thought it was going to be about 2 hours, and I think that would have been too long. So the timing, I think, was spot on. So that's something that we got right. I think the information that we gave as well, that was just spot on as well. Wasn't way too much, but it was enough to give 3, 4, 5 aha moments as well. So I think we got that spot on. The sales part of it would be the one thing I would change, I think. So the sales side of it, when we were doing the kind of selling, when I was doing the selling part of it, I would maybe change that, and purely for the slides, to add more kind of images for example. So I'll change the design aspect of it. And I thought we got the design aspect as well. I'd bought kind of Amy Porterfield's design kind of slides. So I think we got the design aspect of it quite right as well. So it would only be the sales slides and maybe adding more images. So that's one thing I could think of just now, Maria. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If there was one thing you could change for the people that were on it. Cindy Timmers is just in saying, sorry, I'm too late. No, you're not. We're just talking about the webinar last night, Cindy. And I was just talking about the numbers last night. And obviously you can watch the replay of this as well. But I was talking about the numbers to help you in the future as well. Because as I said, I think webinars are going to be a big part of business as well. So if you've got a service related business, or even if you've got products, you can use webinars for that as well. And use it as a base. Your first webinar use as a base and then start working up and tweaking from there as well. So I'm just wondering if anybody that was on the webinar last night, if there was one thing you could change, what would it be? Mary Kerlin is saying, hi Stephen, how you doing? Darlene Dunn saying, laugh out loud for the hair comment. Excellent. So we've not got many more kind of comments there. We've been on 23 minutes. I didn't realise how long we'd been on actually. Lorraine Cavici Blut, have much of a technology background or experience do you need to make a webinar? You don't. You can make it. Depends on the software you use, Lorraine. So we use a software called Webinar Jam, and Maria does all the stuff in kind of Webinar Jam. She's used it before, and we've done it before 6 months ago as well when we were using that. So she knows all the kind of technical side of it. And basically what you do in Webinar Jam, it goes through step by step. It takes a lot of getting used to. There's a steep learning curve, but it goes through step by step for you exactly what you need to do. So it's got 10 steps that you need to use in Webinar Jam, and you go through those 10 steps and make sure each thing is in place. So you've got to write emails, you've got to write a replay sequence as well. But from a technology point of view, it's not hugely difficult. It's just going to be a steep learning curve. So Webinar Jam is what they call an app. It's an app online. So you go online, it's all based online, and you get everything set up there, and it uses something called Google Live. It's Google Hangouts it uses. So you have to get all that set up as well. But it's not too difficult. And there's always help there. There's got all these help videos as well with Webinar Jam. But there's another one called Webinar Ninja, I believe. And you've got GoToWebinar as well, which I've used. And I'm going to be using tonight for the other program that I've got. So the technology side of it is not truly that difficult. Lorraine is saying, thank you. You're always so helpful. Webinar Jam. Like jam you eat. Yeah, Webinar Jam like jam you eat. So a piece and jam. Well, no, that's a Scottish thing, a piece and jam. A slice of bread and jam would be the English equivalent. Darlene Dawn saying that is interesting information about the app. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. I hope that was kind of helpful to give you the numbers, just so it gets you thinking again about could you use webinars? And I think everybody could use webinars. You might not be at that stage of your business yet, but I still think everybody could use webinars. It doesn't really matter what stage you're at, as long as you've got something to sell, obviously. And it only becomes not worth it if you've got a product that you're only selling for $17 or something. But having said that, there's a company called Green Juice Smoothies. They do webinars, and they've got products that sell from between $17 and $97. And it's been hugely profitable for them as well. So I think you could use it really for anything. Any part of your business, even if you've got an ebook or something like that as well. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I'm going to leave you with that just now, something to think about. My head is busting just now, just because I was so tired and I was up early this morning as well. So have a brilliant day, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Okay, namaste, take care.